Welcome everybody at GLUETV. My name is Jeroen Junte. I'm a design journalist, also editor-in-chief of Design Digger. With GLUETV, we take the stage to present some of the exhibitors and participants in GLUE Amsterdam. With me today at GLUETV studios is Inbar Hasson. Welcome, Inbar.
Hi, hello. Thank you for inviting me.
You are one of what's called the sticky members of GLUE. That means that you as a creative are attached to another creative agency in Amsterdam. So please, first, where can we see your stuff and what will you show?
Okay, so I will show my B-side plate project. It's a social-oriented project. And I'm going to show it at the Conservatorium Hotel.
In the Conservatorium Hotel.
Yeah.
It's a project, a design project. I think it's here on the table. It's ceramics. Is there a social critique in it or a comment?
So it's more about social data. Maybe I will explain where it started from. It will be easier to understand the context. I was while doing research for a different project I have, I came across a lot of data and graphs, and I was really surprised and amazed by the beauty and the aesthetic of the pie charts. And that with contrast to the harsh data that are coming to transmit on global inequality reports.
Okay. So can you explain a little bit what these data are? Because as we all know, data in itself is not very interesting. It is the story behind the data.
Yeah, actually, this is exactly the point. I feel that the dry data is hard for us to develop like a deep empathy just to dry numbers. You know, we know everything. We are flooded with the data, but somehow we are still a bit numb towards that. And I think that the visual work is able to tell the story better. So you can see.
Show us the data.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see the plate. So you have like from the outside you see a abstract, graphic, colorful design.
Yeah.
But when you look inside, then you see the harsh data that these segments are based upon.
So the data on the inside correspond with sort of the aesthetics. The patterns and the decorations on the outside.
Exactly, but just as I'm not a professional statistic person and I'm an artist, so these graphs that I created are not valid graphs because I combine different topics and different numbers. Altogether, they are about 100%.
Can you describe maybe one of the statistics that you've incorporated in the ceramics?
Yeah. So let's see. Like there is like you have the green segment, and it responds to 14% of the world population don't receive basic vaccination.
Okay.
And for me, I think if I have to name or to one specific topic, the inequality in the social healthcare is the one that I'm mostly disturbed by.
Okay, the inequality in access to medical care.
Yeah, I was recently reading the World Health Organization report, and they estimate that about 50% of healthcare places don't have basic hygiene facilities, which means soap, water, fresh water.
50%, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's mostly in Sub-Sahara and South Asia, but these are numbers that I think we cannot be numb to, or I think we have to acknowledge that and act.
You have chosen to incorporate these, I'd say, almost shocking statistics in everyday objects, right? These are objects that look very beautiful, and you can stash them in your cupboard just for show. But I think they function just as well for everyday use. Was that an obvious and deliberate choice to incorporate this design in very everyday objects?
Yeah, actually, it was first very natural to do the transition from pie chart that is round to a plate. And the plate symbolizes food, nutrition, malnutrition, sharing. You know, we sit to the table a few times a day if we are on the lucky side of the globe. Yeah. And I really wish that we will share on the table this information and that we will shift the conversation to the more important topics that somehow maybe we prefer to avoid or they are too comfortable or ruining our party.
So in every literal sense, they are conversation pieces, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's how I have it in my vision. That a table will be set with a selection of plates, and everybody will have his own data and to share and to talk about that.
So we share the food, and then we start sharing the data.
Yeah.
And we start sharing the information.
Yeah.
And the awareness, and then in the end we have to share like the money, the wealth, the knowledge that we have here in this part of the world.
I think that the word knowledge is important because everything starts from the knowledge, and a lot of us are contributing and investing our time, our money, but there is also an importance to choose the most effective way to share our sources.
The theme of this edition, 2023 edition of Glue, is stretching the definition of design. And I think for the better part of the 20th century and also a big part of the 21st century, design was usually defined by aesthetics, by functionality, by efficiency, by the way it is easy to be, we can make it. And these last years, this definition of design has been sort of stretched by incorporating activism in design. Yeah. You also work as a fine artist. Yeah. This is a design project, but you work as a fine artist as well. I'm going to put it like very strict. If you would have to choose, like being a designer or an activist, what would you say is your first?
It might sound romantic, but I see this project, for example, like as a bridge between my love to art and my social concern.
Okay, so the design actually is more like a tool here.
Exactly.
Than the objective, the goal in itself.
Yeah, I think that design, art are really unique platform to deliver a message. I think that when people looking at artwork, it kind of it meets us a bit surprised, and we're not prepared. And I think then it has like a strong emotional effect, better than just dry numbers.
Yeah.
And as an artist, I honestly I see it as a duty to use this platform wisely and in a responsible way. It's like being a journalist that you have a platform where you decide what people should know about. And as an artist, I think I feel the same.
Design is an opportunity. I find that a very interesting, perspective on design. It's also stretching the definition of design. Yeah. Is there for you a clear difference between art and design? Because that's one of the other definitions of design that's been stretched the last 10, 15 years already, like the blurring borders between design and art. Yeah. How do you see that? How are you working with that?
So the way I experienced being an interior designer was that I was very, had a lot of respect to the need of the client, and that was my goal. And being an artist is a bit self-concentrated. Okay, like going to the studio, it's like extension of my own beliefs, my own thoughts. I don't have to change my mentality. You know, if I have a good day or a sad day, or I just go with the same flow to the studio, and I create upon these feelings.
Okay.
So, and this project, I think, like it's exactly on the verge between art and design.
Yeah. Okay. So you still have the autonomy that you have as an artist, but at the same time, the obligation to make something that is useful for the people, then they can, you know, more easily have access to probably than art. It's easier to pick up a plate and eat than to look at the artwork. So that is somewhere for you where the border starts.
And also, like the part of the art is that I didn't want to compromise on the data. And there are statistics here that I'm not sure that everybody would be happy to purchase as an item that should be entertaining or satisfying.
A last topic, which I'm very interested in. Of course, glue is like an homage to the creative industries of Amsterdam. And I was wondering, you're from Israel, right? You've been living in Amsterdam or the Amsterdam region. I think you live in Amstelveen.
In Amstelveen for the last 12 years.
For the last 12 years. With that look of a little bit the outsider, I think you're already also an insider because you present at Glue. But from your perspective, what is a characteristic of the creative climate in Amsterdam?
I see it in the Netherlands in general and in Amsterdam in particular, that it really embraced the multicultural population. And, you know, we can hear it in the music, we can see it in the visual art. You definitely feel that there is a like enrichment and the multi-layered culture in the
more than in say in the creative industries. You see that the multicultural aspects are more easily embraced than in the rest of Amsterdam. Well, I mean, in everyday life, the incorporation of diversity.
I think that like the creative industry is easier. First, you don't have the language barrier.
No.
And the creative industry benefits from variety and is able to see the values and the like the rich contribution that every culture can add. But I see it as maybe it can be like the leading industry in introducing other cultures.
Okay.
It might take time, but I think that we are.
Like your work is a conversation piece. If we sort of zoom out, design and art can also be like a conversation piece to work on a more multicultural climate in Amsterdam.
Actually, here I even like. Open the scale and widen the perspective about us as about the global context.
Okay. Finally, your work is on show at the Conservatorium Hotel during Glue Amsterdam. Is it for sale as well? Can people buy it?
Yes, works are also for sale, and maybe it's a good opportunity for me to mention it now that I will host during Glue organization, that charity organization that is close to my heart. And the profit will go for this organization. It's called the Save a Child's Heart.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a hospital based in Israel that treats kids with heart disease from developing countries, and the side that I feel a strong connection to is that 50% of the kids are coming from Gaza Strip, the Palestinian Authority, from Iraq, from Morocco. So.
Okay, so activism is for you not only something that you show, but it's something that you do as well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Inbar,
Thanks
for
so
your
much.
contribution to Glue and GLUETV.
Thanks so much.
And for the viewers, thank you for watching.